record on this computer. So my name is Brooke Chicola. I am live right now on Zoom, and I'm also doing this on Instagram. I totally made this last minute decision that I am going to stream this live on both platforms so I can hit more people. So the people that are on live with me, awesome. You guys can ask me questions at the end. People on Instagram, feel free to hit me up with questions as well. But this is kind of fun going back and forth. If you guys want to hop on the Zoom link, I do have a Facebook event link. You can go to my Facebook page, click on that and get on live. I will let you in, and then you can see my presentation and my slides and all of that. But we are going to dive in and get started. So I think I already said it. My name is Brooke Chicola. I am a coach, have been for 2.5 years. And tonight I'm shaking things up a little bit. And I really have been finding ways to provide more value to you guys. And I really I started thinking about just like my coaching journey and where I've been and how I started and just some of those early hurdles that I had when I started coaching, and even those hurdles that I battled when I was going through my own weight loss journey. And I narrowed it down to about 4 things that really helped me with seeing those early wins and those early successes. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And I'm going to talk about how you can hit your goals too, whether or not you're looking to, run a business or lose weight or whatever it is, using these 4 tips. And when you have a busy life, how many of us have busy lives? Like, just put it in the comments, like raise your hand, like whatever. Like, I hear the word busy all the time. And I feel like our culture has totally glorified busy. It's like the busier you are, people think the more productive you are, right? Like that busy somehow means you're a productive member of society. But then we're seeing so many people with anxiety, overwhelm, depression, giving up on their eating, like not focusing on their health and putting themselves last because we are so busy trying to do all the things like taking care of our family, taking care of our job and other people, our house, when we just end up kind of being last on the list. So tonight I'm going to talk about how you can have a busy life and also make it your job to take care of yourself and have fun. Because if you guys don't know me, I am all about fun, like living a boring life, and coaching without having fun and making it all business would freaking suck. Losing weight and working out without having fun would freaking suck. Been there, done that. I tried it all by myself. It is boring. So we're going to talk about how you can do those things with my top 4 tips. But before we start, I want to let you guys know that I'm going to do a little raffle. So if you're on the Zoom link, I'm not going to do it on Instagram, but if you're here on Zoom, get on over. And for people that stay until the end, I'm just going to do a little random prize giveaway of one of my favorite water bottles. Which is super exciting. I might even snag one for myself. Who knows? But so stick around so you guys can potentially win that. And I'm also going to have a couple other like surprises on giveaways if you're brand new. Make sure to check that out and stick around to see what I'm going to announce. So I have a little presentation for you guys on here on the Zoom link. So here we go. I have to share my screen first. I always forget to do this. There we go. Share screen, and we're rolling. We're rolling and we're going. Present. All right. Here we are. Okay. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story. And you guys, again, feel free to use the chat box if you have any questions or want to shout some stuff up. I love engagement. I don't like feeling like I'm just like talking to myself and all by myself. So feel free to blow that up and I'll check it out at the end. So a little bit about my story. I have a lot of pieces to my story. If you guys follow me at all on social media, you might have seen I post about my weight loss transformation a lot because that is a huge part of my story. Not going to dig into that right now. Like I have other videos where I talk about my weight loss story and how I got there. I'm kind of like going to skip over that whole chapter, even though it's pretty important, and jump into the coaching side of things, because although they go hand in hand, that's what I'm going to be focusing on tonight. And when I met my coach on Facebook. I made a post about like wanting to lose weight and running a 5K. We started talking. She told me that she was with Beachbody, and I was like, okay, no, try that. Like, wasn't like really thrilled about that. And then a couple months later, I just started watching her. And as I was watching her on social media, first I saw her working out when she was like 8, 9 months pregnant with two little toddlers running around. And I was like, oh my God, you can actually work out with like while you're pregnant. I honestly didn't think you could. And then I saw her talking about the coaching opportunity. She kept talking about these groups that she would run and these communities that she had of women that were seeing results. And they were also moms and they were also working. And I remember like really just watching her pretty consistently. Like I probably stalked the crap out of her. And I remember her talking about being a teacher. I was a school social worker. I have my master's in school social work, and I was going into my second year on the job full time. So my first year, I had just gotten married to my husband, Steven, who's right there in this picture. We had our first daughter in college, Aubrey. And then right before our wedding, we found out we were pregnant with my little middle, Ariana. You can see like perfect middle child in this picture. Found out I was pregnant with her. So my whole first year as a school social worker, I never really like felt excited. Like I remember getting my office ready and I remember going to work, and it was just kind of like, okay, this is it. This is what I literally just spent like 6 years working towards. Like, okay, I chalked it all up to hormones. I was like, I'm pregnant. This is a lot. People all said, oh, it's just your first year. You'll get used to it. This is how it's supposed to be. So life went on. Then my baby girl was born. And I had 6 weeks of being home. I think it was more like 9 weeks. I did not want to leave her. I was so upset. I wanted to get out of the house a little bit, but I did not want to be away from my baby. And I started looking at other opportunities. I actually signed up with another company for a day and I quit. So won't get all into that. But I kind of had in the back of the mind while I was watching my coach's stories, I was like, okay, like maybe this is something I could do. She was a teacher, I was a school social worker, she was making money, she was helping people, I was trying to help people in social work. And then that year started. If you hear my daughter in the background, don't mind it. It's bedtime. So it's a little chaotic up in here. But I very vividly remember just becoming bitter and like watching her. And I was like, God, like, oh, she's so lucky. Only certain people can do this. And like I wish I could, but I have this. Like I'm busy. Like my husband works like second and third shift. I was home alone with the kids. I had a 40-minute commute to work, and then to pick up my girls, it was a 2-hour commute. Like I had to go to two different daycare sites, get home. If you guys have worked and you have kids, it's like you get them home, they're hangry, you're feeding them real quick, and then you're getting them to bed, and it's like that's my life. So I was at a conference, a social work conference, and my sister, Nikki, I don't know if she's on here or not. We do this together. She actually had sent me Rachel Hollis podcast. And she's like, you should listen to this, because we would vox back and forth. And I would always, quite frankly, like I would bitch and complain about my job a lot and just like life. So she's like, you should start listening to listen to Rachel Hollis. She's like really great at like these things. And I'll never forget the episode that she sent me. And Rachel was talking about wanting to run a marathon. And she was saying how, if you want, I had a goal that I wanted to run a marathon. So what did she do? She found a friend that had run multiple marathons and became really close with this friend because this person had achieved what she wanted to achieve. And she just talked about, I really got close with this friend, started hanging out with them, started talking to them more because this dude or whoever had hit the goal that she was working to hit. And then she talks about, I could hang out with my family and I love my family, but they didn't really care about running a marathon. So if she would spend all of her time with her family, would she ever really run a marathon? So it kind of clicked in my head on that day. I was like, okay, instead of becoming like bitter and jealous of like other people, I need to figure out like what they are doing to get to where I want to go. So I signed up for my first challenge group. I didn't do crap for 2 months. I sat in the background. So, yay me. I was one of those people, totally ghosted my coach. Like, she reached out. She's like, everything's okay. And I'm like, I was too embarrassed. I finally hit my wall, did my first workout program, absolutely fell in love, lost 7 pounds, like, broke my weight loss plateau. There was like a gift card deal going on. So I justified like a Christmas gift card to sign up as a coach to my husband. And then I was like, I really could try this coaching thing to pay for my shakes that I'm drinking, because obviously, like, they're working and I want to keep going. And he believed in that. And here we are, 2.5 years later, still going. Our team is thriving and growing. And it has been a crazy freaking ride. I would be lying if I said it's been pretty unicorns and rainbows the whole time, because it hasn't. And I will never be that person, because, like anything in life, whether it's business or weight loss or whatever goal that you're working towards, and I'm sure if you're on here, you're working towards something. Like, there's nobody would be up at 8:45 at night listening to this, like, if you guys weren't goal oriented at all. So shout out to you all for being here and thank you for supporting me. But you guys know that it's not always rainbows, but it is so freaking worth it. So I'm going to dive into my top 4 tips on really, like, what I did that first year, because my first full year of coaching, I was working full time, and also during my weight loss journey, because I signed up right away. I was working full time. Again, I had 2 little ones at the time. My husband was gone, and I was able to build a pretty decent foundation for my business within that time. I left my job in December of 2019 very impulsively. That's like a whole other story for another day. But I had hit a pretty big goal in this business. And I was like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to, we figured out our budget. We were going to do this coaching thing. And then year 2, I learned a lot. And I learned about what it really takes to, be a business owner, and to, do this and keep having fun and seeing success. And then end of year 2, we're here. And I swear, like, things like each year just keep growing and growing and growing, which is like absolutely freaking incredible. So, all right. So, how to get started. So, my first tip is busy, because that's the topic that we are talking about tonight, is replacing, or talking about busy. You guys have busy lives, whatever your life looks like. And my first year doing this was really busy. And sometimes I also think that people think, like, now that I am home, like, you have to be home to work this business, or you have to be home to work out. Like, that is not true at all. If anything, you guys, and if you guys are stay-at-home moms or whoever's out there, like, this is the hardest freaking job in the world. Like, I almost felt like during that first year, I had become so efficient because I had little cracks in the day. So I knew when I had to work and I knew when I had to do things. Whereas now I'm home. And if you didn't see in that picture, we had a 3rd baby girl. So we got pregnant right away. We had Addison, who's now 8 months old. And I have toddlers. And they require a lot of time and attention. And if you guys didn't know, I mean, everyone knows, like, COVID last year, I ended up homeschooling my daughter. Like, shit was crazy. It was not at all what I had anticipated. I thought, like, I'm home now, I can focus on my job. But now I was home taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. And I didn't realize, like, there's a lot of pieces that go into taking care of the house. Let me tell you, like, during the week when we were both working, it was kind of like, okay, we'll do everything on Sunday and keep going. So it really threw me into this loop of reprioritizing and learning how to navigate this business for me and my journey with a new type of busy. So I want to talk about this quote. So this is from a book that I read that's actually, like, absolutely amazing. It's called You Can Have It All, Just Not at the Same Damn Time. And Romy Neustadt, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, talks about all about priorities. And you guys have probably heard this word before, but this was a game changer for me when you are talking about being busy. And maybe it's just like a conversation with a friend or somebody, and it's like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, busy. How are you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like it's just so a part and so ingrained into our vocabulary. I want to challenge you guys to replace the word busy with priorities. And I can give a couple examples of that. So, what I mean is when we say we're too busy for something, what we are really communicating is that's not a priority. And it's true. And sometimes it's a really weird gut check when you replace that word. So, for example, I hear this a lot like, I don't have time to work out. What you're really saying is, it is not a priority to work out. Am I mad about that? No, because the thing about this and the thing that this book has taught me, which is really awesome, just a shameless plug about this. I don't get any credit for that, but it really helped me figure out what my priorities in life are. Is everybody has different priorities, and that is okay. Like my priority is working out. It wasn't for a very long time. So I make sure to put that in my schedule. Like no matter what happens in the day, 90% of the time I need to work out because it's good for my mental health. Like that needs to happen. Another example, um, I'm too busy to make that phone call. Do you guys have you ever had to do that? Like call the doctor. Like I'm just too busy to call the doctor. What you're really communicating is it's not a priority right now. So try doing that with your vocabulary, with things when you catch yourself saying like, oh gosh, I'm too busy, or I am too busy to play with my kids. Or sometimes, and I've caught myself doing this. Again, no freaking judgment here because I've said like, I'm too busy to read that book. And then when I sit and think and I tell myself like, it is not a priority to read that book to my child, I stop myself in my tracks. And it's like, that didn't feel right. For me personally, that didn't feel right. So I need to check that and make time to read that book or make time to, put the laundry aside or whatever it is that I'm doing and really just weigh like what's more of a priority right now or how can I make this a priority. Same thing with this business. If it is a priority, you will find a way to do it. So instead of saying, I am too busy to build a business, like a lot of us are in some way, shape, or form, you're saying it's not a priority. Again, that's okay. If it's not a priority and you're not excited and ready to do it, that's totally fine. For me, it had become a priority and it took some time to figure that out. But I knew from watching my coach pretty early on, I was like, okay, if I want to get to where she is, I need to find a way to get the things done in a day that I need to get done to get to my goal because that's a priority. All right. The next thing is mindset is everything. And if my girls that are on here in my challenge groups, in my chat pods, I say this all the time. Mindset is really truly everything. And I love this quote by John Maxwell. I'm reading another one of his books. He's really big into leadership, and that's kind of the phase that I'm in right now with my business is developing my leadership skills. And I love that he says successful people don't have any fewer problems than unsuccessful people. They just have a different mindset in dealing with them. This is so true. You have a choice with your mindset. And I heard on a podcast the other day, again, you guys are going to hear me referencing things because I feel like I'm sharing a lot of like little gold nuggets that I have learned and I'm just passing it right on to you. And this guy, Brad Bizjack, was just talking about how we as humans have, what did he say? A highway to pissed off and a dirt road to happiness. It is so easy for us humans to just get overwhelmed, anxious, and pissed off over the littlest tiny things. Like, I know I've been there, the littlest things, like even just like clutter sometimes in my house. I'm like, why won't anybody pick up? Am I the only one that's looking? When really, if I switch my mindset in that minute, I could be like, I'm thankful that I have a family here. I'm thankful my family has clothes and toys. Like, in seeing that pile, like your mindset can completely change your mood, how you view things, and how you view problems in life. So having a positive mindset and attitude is absolutely everything, which is why I reference so many personal development books, podcasts. That is something that we do in our community is we really value growth. And positivity and celebrating wins, which we'll talk about in a little bit too. So it's just kind of a sneak peek of what is to come. So, in order to be successful, in order to hit your goal, so whether you are, prioritizing your health and fitness specifically, because that's what this call is about, your mind needs to be right. If you are struggling, if you're not liking your journey, like you need to take 10 steps back and you have to find a way to nourish your mind, whether it's, journaling, whether it's praying. We have a lot of girls on our team that do devotionals. For me, it's reading and podcasts. Like that is like my thing. Like personal growth is going to just jumpstart you into any goal that you are trying to reach. Okay. The third thing is community. And I talked about this a little bit in the beginning with the Rachel Hollis podcast, marathon running situation, because community is huge. Because alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Shout out to Helen Keller. I love that. It is hard. It is hard to reach a goal alone. Guys, have you ever tried to do something like in isolation by yourself? And if you haven't, you've accomplished it, shout out to you, because that is hard for me. When I am reaching for a goal, I need to have people surrounded by me. And one of my favorite quotes now that I share a lot with my girls too is, I don't even know if it's a quote, but more of like a symbolism or something. But I always like to think, wherever I am at, whether it's my health journey, whether it's my coaching business, whether it's my marriage or parenting, I like to have one person in front of me, one person or a few people beside me, and one person or few people behind me. And the person in front of me is there to mentor me. So kind of like I talked earlier, like my coach has been my mentor, other coaches that have walked the path before me. I knew I wanted to get to where they were. So I got under their wing. I became their friends. I joined and I said, hey, like, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? And I really just opened myself up to learn and be coachable and be mentored so I can hear what they've done and I could do the same. And then also figure out my own, like, swag and way throughout the way. Then you have your people beside you. These are the people that are going through the trenches with you. So these are my girls that are in this business. We all signed up about the same time. We all have very similar goals. We all like hit ranks around the same time, all of that. We talk about stuff on the daily basis because we are in the trenches together. So having someone that's in the trenches with you and then behind you, those are the people that you can now mentor. So now you are the person that is in front of them so that you can show them, this is the way. Like, this is what I did to get here. If you come with me, I can show you how to get to this goal too, if you listen to me, and then put your own swag and twist to it or whatever. Another example, that's just with the coaching business, but really you can use that with anything, and just that community and how huge it is. Like, let's say it's weight loss. Okay. Just because like, that's like, we're talking about health and fitness and that's my thing. Having that person in front of you. So you want to lose 50 pounds. You're going to go find someone that's lost 50, 60, 70 pounds. You're going to figure out what they're doing. And maybe you don't just follow one person. Sometimes it's really good to have multiple people. Then you can kind of put together what's going to work for you, because especially with weight loss, like what works for one person is not going to work for another. Let me tell you, I went through the ropes and trying to figure that out too. But you're going to find people that have done it before, and you're going to start gathering information and data to figure out, okay, what am I going to do that these people do that's going to help me? You're going to have your people in the trenches with you. And that's where I feel like my challenge group community is just so awesome. And just having people that are next to you. And honestly, like a family member or friend. Me doing this with my sister was like the best thing ever, because we could be in the trenches together. We could be talking to each other and texting about the programs we were doing, or, oh my God, that workout was so hard today. Or, oh, I didn't want to get up this morning. Oh, remember, we got goals. We got this. If you do it, I do it. Having those people that have those same goals as you. So if like you need to lose 50 pounds, like you want to lose 50 pounds and you want to lose 50 pounds, like we're going to do this together. We're going to link arms. We're going to try this. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to walk this path together. And then you can be that person while you're working towards that goal, even before you officially hit it, to help those people behind you that maybe you've thought about it, but they're not as motivated as you quite yet because they're busy, life's going on. And as we know, we talked about earlier, maybe it's just not a priority yet. So you can show them the way. You can be going through it in the trenches while you're learning and be like, hey, you can come along and do this with me too. Let me show you what I've been doing. Let me show you what I have learned and be that support person for that person too. Community is huge. We can do so much more when we are together and supporting one another. And then last, this is my number 4 tip, is defining success for yourself and celebrating every freaking win. Every single one. I work with people on a daily basis, and it is so easy. Remember that highway to pissed off and that dirt road to happiness? It is so easy when you ask someone, like, how was your day? It's like, oh, this happened. I feel like it's almost like pulling teeth to be like, well, what good has happened? And again, I think there's some stuff to say about that. I'm not even getting into the science things of it because I'm going to screw something up. But it is just so easy to remember the bad and focus on the bad, or even with like your meal plan or something. I'll talk to people and be like, how has your nutrition been? And it's like, oh, it sucked. I had an ice cream cone. Well, what else did you eat today? Oh, this morning I had a shake. I made eggs with toast, and then at lunch, I had my leftovers, and then I got home, had a good dinner, and I had an ice cream. So your whole day was horrible. Was it really? You just told me you ate so well during the day. What were you doing 4 weeks before? Well, before I'd hit the drive-through, and celebrate that. Celebrate those wins. You guys, I am so cheesy, but this is how I saw success early on in my weight loss and my coaching. And I'm working on it hard with home and kids and all of those things. But we define our own success. And when we see success as just being that end goal, we are going to have a hell of a time getting to our goal. It's going to be hard. We have to celebrate every little win that happens along the way, because when you have a big goal, it's a mountain. Or maybe it's not a mountain, maybe it's a small goal, like, hey, celebrate that. But when you have a mountain goal, when you have a goal to build a business, when you have a goal to lose a bunch of weight, whatever your big goal is, and it feels so big, it's going to be so much harder to stick to your goal if you don't focus on the little wins along the way. And also, success is not happiness. When you reach that goal, and if you talk to people, because I also talk to a lot of people in just this weight loss community about losing weight, and they hit this goal, and it's like, oh, I'm there. Now what? Like, nothing super crazy magical is going to happen. I think we so often think that we're going to hit this goal, we're going to hit this weight, we're going to make this amount of money. We get excited for a little bit, and then it's like, now what? Did you enjoy the journey? Were you so busy focusing on the end goal that you completely forgot how you got there and celebrated that along the way? Was it miserable to get there? Because I know when I was working on losing weight, I tried a lot of things and I was miserable. I was not happy. Doing a bunch of supplements and stuff for 20 days. By the end, I was like, oh, I'm so glad that's over. And I went back to my old ways and I maintained my weight and I never lost any more. That wasn't fun. Now I'm able to have better balance. I'm able to eat tacos and hamburgers and pizza. And you know what? Sometimes it gets a little out of hand and I don't beat myself up. I get right back on track. And that's a success for me. We define our own success. And when we celebrate every tiny freaking win along the way, and we're intentional about celebrating those wins, because some days are hard. Yeah, not rainbows and unicorns at all. But we have to continuously every day be intentional about finding those wins, finding those golden moments in our day to hold on to, because that is what's going to carry us through. All right. So those are my top 4 goals and top 4 things that I did to really see success early on, both in my weight loss and in my business too, and how I really just made it my job to, become a coach and dive into coaching with being so busy. Is I, first I made it a priority. This is something that I wanted. I had a strong vision and a strong why, and I could do a whole another hour call about vision and why and how important that is. But I knew what I wanted, so I made this a priority. So whatever it is that you're thinking right now that you want in your life, whatever it may be, it needs to become a priority. Instead of saying I'm too busy, you need to find the time, because time isn't just going to appear. I heard once if we had 25 hours in a day, we would find a way to fill up that extra hour, whether it's with Netflix, whether it's with scrolling our phones. How many of us have done that? You just get caught in the scroll. Still super guilty. I, good tip for people if you get into that, I've turned off my notifications so that when I'm on my phone, my intention is to be super intentional. And there are times on the weekend where I delete my apps because that is my time for my family. And that is a priority to me, because it can be really easy to get sucked into anything, whether it's, Netflix or your phone or work. We have to turn it off and be intentional and constantly remember our priorities. So, number 1, making it a priority. Number 2, your mindset. Got to get your mind right. If you are struggling with your mindset, and you guys, I have a history of mental health and I've posted about my depression, anxiety. I struggle. I break down crying in my backyard sometimes. Like, life piles up. And I have learned through this journey to do what's best for me. Drink my water, eat healthy, take my medication. Yes, I will put that in there too, because I will freaking own it. I will do some work, because the biggest thing for me that leads to overwhelm is inaction. When I feel like I am not doing something that I said I was going to do. So take some action, even if it's super duper small. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just something. And then that goes to number 4, celebrating it. You don't need to be perfect. Celebrate every tiny win. You ate a carrot, win. You picked a salad, win. You drank water, win. Like, it sounds so cheesy, but we are literally like, if we have to like bring out our inner kid. Remember when our kids were like potty training? We're like, yeah, good job. Oh my God, here's a prize, here's a Skittle, here's a like dance party. We're human. Like, we function like that too. Like, we need to celebrate ourselves so that it motivates us to keep going. And then community. Surrounding yourself with people that are, have that same mindset as you, that want the same thing as you, and just really digging into that community, embedding yourself in it, get to know those people, become fearless, build those relationships. That's going to help you, because when we are together and we are working towards a common goal, a common mission, that is life changing. All right. So, next steps, my shameless plug for you guys and what I have to offer for our team. And if you are interested, I have a couple options. I just created a free Facebook page. I have no idea how to work it, but I'm figuring it out. But you can feel free to go follow me on there, Fit Mama Weight Loss, or add me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm always trying to add more value. And if you guys ever have like a question or want to see something, like, you can shoot me a message. Like, I am always open and willing to talk. Like, if you don't get a response from me within like a day or two, just send me a second message, because as you guys know, maybe you saw, I have 3 kids. It gets a little crazy. And sometimes I check my phone and then I put it down and I'm like, oh crap, like, I never got back to that person. Like, dang it. Just send me a message. Like, I am such an extrovert. You don't have to be an extrovert to do these things, but that's just who I am. So you can follow my free page. You can message me, whatever works. You can also look into joining our challenge group community. Like I said, community is huge. And I have spent the past 2.5 years really working on building a solid community of women that are working towards common goals. Our team name is Fit, Fun, and Free to Be because we come together for fitness. So we use our at-home fitness workout programs. We cheer each other on. We have a virtual gym where we can go on Zoom and meet up with each other in the morning, or someone can post on the page and be like, who wants to meet up in the Zoom link at 10 a.m. I forgot my workout. And then someone else will be like, I'll be there. That is like the coolest thing. So we have the challenge group community. I like to run challenges where we do fun little prizes, whether it's like, meal prepping, taking your pictures. We're actually doing a book club this month. We're going to be reading this book. There's no plan B for your A game. I'm super excited. So it's not just going to be coaches, it's going to be coaches and challengers. We're going to do a book club and have a group chat, and we're going to figure out some mornings where we can meet and do coffee and just talk about this book and talk about our goals and our visions for life, which I'm super excited about. So we have that option for you to join. The next option that I have is our VIP/coaching opportunity. So there's kind of like two different categories there. So as a challenger, you can sign up and you can join with one of our challenge packs and be a customer. As a VIP, you're technically labeled a coach for right now, but you can get 25% off additional products. If you are military, you have the monthly fee waived. So we have a $15.95 monthly business fee. It's kind of like a Costco membership. Like, you pay the fee, you get the wholesale price on the product. So super exciting. And if you decide to coach, that also goes into your back office and resources. But you can just sign up as a coach for that discount and be a part of our coaching community. We like to do get-togethers. We actually have one coming up this Friday for a dinner to celebrate my sister that just hit a big rank, and just get together. Like, again, I'm all about fun. That's why it's in my team name, because I like to get together. I like to eat and drink and party and chat it up. Like, we have such a fun crew. So you'd be invited to that opportunity, well, as a VIP or as a coach. And then the coaching opportunity. If you're like me and you're that girl, maybe you saw me, maybe you saw somebody else or your coach. I know I invited my upline team to join tonight. And maybe you were like me and you're sitting and you're looking at, what is this girl talking about? She's putting together this presentation. Maybe you're bitter. I don't know like what it is, but that was me. I'm just going to be honest. And maybe you're thinking like, this is something you would really want to do and try. Let me know. Like, our team is running and I am running with the runners. Like, the people that are running this business, we work really close together because that's the season I'm in and I want to run with you. So the people that are ready to dive in, that, you want to be the next coach, the next rock star, the next story, you want to be doing this 2.5 years later from now, like, you let me know. I will give you my all and we are going to go for it. So that opportunity is there for you too. And then we can talk more about earning as far as commissions and trips, recognition, prizes. I swear there's like prizes up the yin yang, like the hat that I was wearing today. The trip, like in this picture, we're going to Destin this year in Florida, which I'm super excited. Oh my God, so fun. And then also like an income for your family. Now, Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income or success. It's all dependent on the coach's, skills, diligence, and something else. Insert disclaimer. But this is providing for my family. You guys are on this call. I think this is still going live on Instagram. I don't know. Nope, my live ended. I don't know how to figure that out yet. But this past month, when I exceeded my income as a school social worker, and makes me want to vomit saying that out loud because our company is amazing. They're so diligent. There are so many things out there, especially with people working from home, and a lot of things that aren't true. So they really want us to be cautious to insert that disclaimer because there is work. There is work to be put in to do this. And it's simple work. It's rewarding work, but it's work. And again, it comes down to the things I talked about earlier: prioritizing, mindset, community, and celebrating all of your wins. Because again, I've been in this for 2.5 years. It takes time. Another awesome book, The Compound Effect. That is what this business is. And you think of like pumping a well. So you guys kind of like know like one of those wells that you pump. So I love this vision of, two people pumping a well. And you got someone over here that's been pumping their well for days or whatever, and they have a ton of water. And you go to start pumping your well. And you're pumping and you're pumping and you're pumping and you're putting in so much time and effort. And then you get one little drop of water. And it's like, I just busted my butt for that little drop of water. And you keep on pumping. And then there's this guy over here that's putting in the same amount of energy and time and effort. And he's got tons of water. It's like, what? I am working just as hard as you, and I just got a little drip of water. So you keep going and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And then eventually you get a few more drops. And then the well starts working. And then the water starts flowing. And now you're not using any more energy. You're using the same amount of effort and energy and exertion to pump that well. And then it starts flowing. That is the compound effect. That is how this business works. It is time, it is consistency, it is celebrating all of these things. It's failing forward every single day. It doesn't ever need to be perfect. You just need to do it, try it, figure it out, tweak it, keep going. And that is when you start to see success. So when you do that, not just for a week, not just for a month, not even for a year, you guys, you can, I definitely saw some success within my first year, but the reason why I've been successful is because I celebrated all the little things along the way. I didn't jump into this business and get a paycheck and hit my social work income. That's not how network marketing works. That's not how these businesses work. But I worked my booty off and I figured it out. And now I'm putting in the same amount of effort and energy and exertion. And that recipe of that time and that consistency and that figuring it out and all the things that I have just mentioned before, the mindset, the community, and just that positivity, that's why I'm able to say that today and why I'm here and why I'm able to provide that for my family and not have to pay for daycare. How the freaking Hallelujah. Okay, so what's included? So when you're signing up with one of the options, whether it's our challenge group or our coaching opportunity, I start people the same. You're starting with a challenge pack. You're getting in, you're diving into the community, you're focusing on your journey. That's the best part. And then if you guys want to join, you can just message me or whoever your coach is that invited you here tonight and say, all right, I'm ready. Brooke talked about this option. I want to do the challenge group, or I want to do the VIP, or I want to go balls to the wall and do this coaching opportunity and see what this can do for me. Whatever it is, there's no right or wrong. Message your coach, ask them, tell them what you're interested in, and we will get you set up. So I just want to end on a positive note. Even if you guys don't decide to join anything tonight, that's totally cool. I hope you guys were able to take away something, and it's time to prioritize. You guys came on here because you have busy lives and you wanted to figure out, how you can do these things, whether it's like get fit and have fun, like whether how are you able to hit your goals when you're so freaking busy? It's prioritizing. Figure out what your goal is, what you value, and maybe you need to even start there and just kind of figure it out. And when I started reading this book, the You Can Have It All, I had no idea what I wanted. It was June 2020 when I had been staying home for 6 months. I was pregnant in the car with my husband, and I was like, I don't even know what I want. What did I tell him? I said, I want time and money. Okay. And I was always taught my whole life, you can either have one or the other, time or money. Basically, you have to go to work to make money and miss out on time with your kids, or you stay home with your kids and then you don't make the money. That's how I grew up, just thinking I had to choose. And I told them, I'm like, I want both and I want to figure out how to get both. And that's why I picked up this book. So I'm like, she told me I can have it all. I'm going to read it. And what she means is you can have what you want if you prioritize it, if you know what you want, if you figure out what your priorities are, then you can make some goals. Then you can prioritize it. Then all the other things that are keeping you busy that you don't absolutely need to do. And there's a whole awesome section on figuring out what do you have to do? What do you think you have to do and all of that and what really aligns with your belief system. Like that's when you can really prioritize and start living your most authentic and best life is when you figure out what your priorities are, what your vision is for your life, and then start making goals based on that. So I promised you guys a raffle. Oh, and I just wanted to say thank you too so much for coming. And I would love some feedback. I would love to do this again, whether it's the same presentation or another one. If you guys want to message me again or email me, I put my email below. Ask me questions. If you have a friend or family member that you think would benefit from this, or you're watching and you're like, I want to join and I'm going to get my people beside me and I'm going to get my coworker and mom, like hit me up. Like we'll get in a 3-way, 4-way chat or something that has been super successful. Or if you want to suggest any like future topics, if you have any like final questions or things that you want me to address, like that would be awesome. I am just always looking for ways to provide more content and just more value to your life because I know how much personal development has changed my life. So if I can give back, like I will give. And I like to talk a lot, clearly. So I'm gonna go to the chat. Oh, this is awesome. Yay. What was the title of the book? Oh goodness. I have a couple books. Let me type in the chat real quick. So the one that I kept referring to is You Can Have It All, Just Not at the Same Damn Time by I really like books where they swear. The other one I read is F Leadership, and he's actually my mentor now. And yeah, love it. The book that we're going to be reading for book club this month is There's No Plan B for Your A Game by Bo Eason. So if you guys do want to join, that's what we're going to be reading. So you can pick that up. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see all of your beautiful faces. And I am going to pick a winner. So I'm actually going to look at the chat real quick. And I'm just going to I'm going to do this. I'm going to scroll and just like land on a name because that's going to be the easiest. And you're going to win a prize. Who's that? Rebecca! Becky, you are going to win a 2B Mindset water bottle. That's like the quickest way I can do it without writing everyone's name down and putting it in some random hat. So, yay! I'm going to send you a 2B Mindset water bottle. Oh, you guys, also, I said there was another surprise. If you are watching this and you have not signed up yet and you are looking to join, you're ready to go. A lot of us have some $40 promo codes lingering around. I know, like, I just had 2 people sign up like right before this call, so I have to double check how many I have. But for the next like 3 people that sign up, I am actually going to gift this book to my people if you sign up for the VIP/coaching option, because personal development is huge. And if you guys are going all in, I want to give back to you. So I'm going to be offering this on my social media, and to whoever my next 3 coaches are to sign up, you're going to get, well, if you sign up by tonight, you can get $40 off. Hooray. But then if you miss the sale, that's okay. I'm going to be gifting this book to the next 3 ladies that join my team. So we can read it together and just really dive into figuring out what your priorities and goals are and how we can get you to where you want to be. So thank you so much for coming. Again, please, I love feedback. Send me a message, send me an email, whatever it is, and I'd be happy to chat with you. And thank you again so much for coming out tonight. Hope you guys had fun. And Becky, I'll message you to get you your water bottle. So have a good night, everyone, and we'll catch you soon.